New week, new game, and today we have the Kingdom Rush 5 Alliance Tower Defense. Another great Kingdom Rush game in the series, though I must say it's one of the weakest so far. I'd say even weaker than the Kingdom Rush 5 Vengeance, just by looking at the amount of the content so far. I've played through all of the Kingdom Rush games throughout 10 plus years, either on browser, mobile, or both, so this is the first time I bought one on Steam, since they released it immediately upon release, while the rest of the Kingdom Rush games had to wait out before getting released on Steam, compared to mobile getting it upon release. Anyways, this is one of the easiest Kingdom Rush games I've played personally, arguably the easiest out of the rest of them, just because you have relatively overpowered towers and heroes, while most of the enemies are kinda weak. However, it's still worth the fun. 16 stages, 12 heroes, which you can choose from, and there being able to choose 2 of them is a unique selling point for the entire game, which made me to buy it in the first place. Most of the towers are also good and fun to play around with. Bosses are unique and fun to play against, even though some of them were easy, but not all. So it's a fair middle ground. I like the design of the game, its unique art style makes it stand out from the rest of the tower defense games, not Kingdom Rush related, so that's a huge props to the devs for making it happen, which I do admire. 27 upgradable characters. Again, this is false. It is counting both heroes and the towers and characters, then listing them again below to the statement to say 27 upgradable characters, 15 towers with the special skills, 12 epic heroes. As if you're getting all of these things when they're just counting the same content multiple times to make it look like you're getting more than you are. 3 different game modes. I guess they are referring to the Heroic Challenge and Iron Challenge as entirely different game modes, which again feels dishonest, as they're the same thing as normal except the number of waves and the fact Iron has a tower restrictions. If they really had different modes, it would be something like an endless mode, but there isn't one. All these years later, they still refuse to put endless modes in all their games for inflexible reasons, despite it being so highly demanded every single time. Also very disappointing. The game is about as fun to play as any Kingdom Rush game, but it has just left such a bitter taste in my mouth due to dishonesty in the marketing. Compare the store page to the Kingdom Rush Vengeance. On the Vengeance page, it clearly says that you can make a selection of towers, none of this combined misleading language. It also lists how many towers and how many heroes separately instead of also saying the X number of characters and adding them together. The marketing here was just flat out misleading and I'm very annoyed by it. And it's so strange because they've never done this before and never used the decafulful language on any of their previous titles. It's so weird. Do I think this game is worth 17 euros though? As of right now, no. But when they add more future content to it, like Kingdom Rush Vengeance, yes, it will be worth it. But that will take time, probably around a year or so. It's still a way better to purchase it on Steam than on mobile. Why? Well, because on Steam, even though you play like 8 euros more compared to the mobile, which is 8.63 euros, on Steam you get every hero for free upon progressing the game through stages. While on mobile, most of the heroes are hidden behind the paywall, so if you want to buy all of them, that will cost you double more than Steam, including all the power-ups and the stuff that are also behind the paywall. So yeah, buy yourself a favor if you want to spare my money. But again, it's your decision whether you want to support the devs further or want to wait out before they polish the game more with the new content. Kingdom Rush Alliance takes some of the best aspects of both Vengeance, expands on it, and also brings back some of the aspects from the original trilogy. The tower system is just like Vengeance, however, the devs have put in the extra effort into making sure that towers feel much more unique from each other than Vengeance, as well as just completely unique kinds of towers outright for the series. They've also put more in effort having towers and heroes be balanced. It's not perfect, but they can still improve it over the time with updates like how they recently have been planning doing with the Vengeance. The levels themselves feel more closer to the original trilogy. There is much more of a challenge to this game levels than in Vengeance, and it really ramps up in difficulty in the final area, having by far the hardest levels in the series, but they still have the enjoyable with all the unique mechanics that the enemies bring. Overall, I still think this game is worth playing through, considering the content of right now and not the challenging campaign, aside from the final phase, which is actually challenging. First and the second phase missions are completed up on first try, without any struggle. If I were to rate it, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. Looking forward to whatever the devs pursue next, rather than be another continuation of the series, which already spans for over 12 plus years, almost 13 in 3 days, since original Kingdom